Hey everyone, before we dive into this story, please hit that subscribe button to join our community for more powerful narratives like this one. My name is Tara Evans and I'm 32, a single mom raising a vibrant, inquisitive son named Noah. I juggle two jobs and late night freelance work to keep us going. Life's tough, but I've forged resilience from the fragments others tried to shatter. The night that changed everything began at my cousin's engagement party. Lauren Hayes, the bride-to-be, was poised, beloved, and radiant in a silk gown that likely cost more than my monthly rent. We hadn't spoken in months, not since she made a cutting remark at a baby shower about me collecting diapers and mistakes. I brushed it off with a smile to keep things civil, but the hurt lingered. When the invitation arrived, elegant cream paper with gold script, undeniably pretentious, I wavered. My mom called 3 times, urging me to attend. Just go, Tara. Smile. Be gracious. Don't make waves, she said, as always. So I went for her for appearances for Noah. I wore my best dress, slightly creased and snug, borrowed heels from a friend, and let Noah pick my necklace. He chose a silver heart, saying it reminded him of his own. We entered the upscale restaurant, white tablecloths, soft lighting, wine glasses sparkling like trophies, and I felt it instantly. The undercurrent of forced smiles, subtle judgment, and predefined roles. But that night, I wouldn't leave diminished. I wouldn't shrink. The narrative would shift, the room would pivot, and for the first time in ages, someone would stand up, not for appearances, but for truth. Lauren and I were close as kids, but somewhere between college acceptances and family gatherings, she became the shining star, and I became the silent letdown. She graduated with accolades, traveled globally, dated accomplished men. I had Noah at 23, raised him alone, and rebuilt my life countless times. The gap between us wasn't just our paths, it was how our family framed our stories. Lauren was the success. I was the cautionary tale. At the dinner, I was placed at the table's far end, next to my mom and Aunt Clara, who spent the first 10 minutes showing me her dog's costume photos and acting like I was only Noah's mom, nothing more. Lauren glided through the room like a queen, offering air kisses and polished compliments. She barely noticed me, and when she did, it was with a sharp courtesy that cut deeper than kindness. "You're here alone?" she asked, eyebrows raised. "Just me and Noah," I answered evenly. "Oh, the kids' table is over there," she said, turning away before I could reply. My mom leaned in, whispering, "Keep your head down, Tara. You look nice tonight. Not stunning, not proud of you, just nice." As if that's all a single mom could be. Pleasant, quiet, invisible. I tried to fade into the background to get through the night. Noah sat at the kids' table, sketching rockets on a napkin and laughing with strangers, as kids do. Meanwhile, I passed bread and forced smiles, navigating shallow small talk and the polite disdain of relatives who hadn't called in years, but still thought they knew what was best for me. Beneath the clinking glasses and practiced toasts, judgment simmered. Every glance, every word reminded me I was tolerated, not embraced. My late shifts, bedtime stories, and overdue bills meant nothing to them. I wasn't a story worth sharing, just a warning whispered in private. Yet I stayed seated, for Noah, for the girl I once was who believed families were safe havens. I hoped that if I smiled enough, played the part, someone might truly see me. But deep down, I knew they didn't want to. They wanted me quiet, small. And for too long, I'd complied. The moment came during the main course, after plates were cleared and wine glasses refilled. Lauren rose with effortless poise, tapping her flute with a silver fork, her diamond ring flashing like a spotlight. All eyes turned to her. "I just want to say," she began, her smile perfect, "how thankful I am to be surrounded by so much love tonight." Polite claps, a few cheers. Then her gaze slid to me. "I hope," she said with a smirk, "I never end up like some people, single, nearing 30, raising a kid alone." The room erupted in laughter, not awkward chuckles, but loud, comfortable, cruel laughter. My uncle, her dad, banged the table, adding, "You know how it goes. Men don't want damaged goods." Even my mom gave a soft laugh, covering her mouth as if it softened the blow. I froze, my skin burning, my heart pounding like it wanted to flee. I stared at my plate, clutching my napkin so tightly it crumpled. Across the room, Noah kept drawing his rocket, oblivious. I wanted to vanish. No one spoke up. No one said that's enough. Even those who looked uneasy stayed silent. It was easier. I'd been cast as the failure, the warning, for so long that challenging it seemed inconvenient. Lauren, pleased with the laughter, moved on, joking about how her fiancé, Ethan, had to ditch video games and wouldn't survive marriage without her picking his outfits. The laughter thinned, some shifted uncomfortably, but no one stopped her. Aunt Clara leaned in, whispering, "Don't take it personally, honey. Lauren just loves the spotlight." But it wasn't about attention. It was about power, about reminding everyone I didn't belong. I felt like a ghost in that chair, seen but not human, my life reduced to a punchline. For a moment, I considered standing, saying something sharp, storming out in righteous anger. But I didn't, not yet. I looked at the faces of those who claimed to love me and saw their love was conditional, laced with silence and shame. So I sat, hands shaking, chest tight, mind screaming, face still. I told myself, I am not what they say. I thought of Noah, safe in his world of crayons and stars, and vowed their mockery wouldn't rewrite my truth. Unbeknownst to me, someone else heard it all, and he wouldn't stay quiet. The room buzzed with murmurs when Ethan, Lauren's fiancé, stood. He didn't speak at first, just pushed his chair back and walked, not to the bar or restroom, but toward me. Chair stilled, forks paused. Lauren stopped mid-sentence, eyes narrowing. He walked the length of the table and stopped beside me. "I think they need to hear something," he said. Silence, thick, suffocating silence. Lauren blinked, confused. My uncle lowered his glass. My mom finally looked at me, not through me. Ethan faced the room, his voice steady, unshaken. "Lauren," he said, using her middle name, "that wasn't just a joke. It was cruel." She tried to interrupt, but he raised a hand. "No, I need to say this." He scanned the room, meeting the eyes of those who laughed. "You treat Tara like she's a failure, like her life's a joke. But she's the strongest person here." I froze, my breath caught. 2 years ago, he continued, I lost my job, spiraled into depression, drank too much. Lauren told me to get over it. My uncle called me. But Tara, she checked on me everywhere. No one knew. She didn't just offer me advice. She gave her time, helped me write my resume, connected me with a contact, even watched my niece so I could interview. He turned to me. "You barely knew me, but you showed up when no one else did. You pulled me out of a dark place without asking for credit or praise." He faced the crowd again. "So, when you laugh at her, you're not just mocking a single mom. You're mocking the person who helped me rebuild, mocking real strength." The silence deepened. Lauren stood, voice sharp. "What are you doing?" "Being honest," Ethan said calmly. "I'm done with shallow toasts and fake smiles. I won't sit here while you tear down someone good to feel bigger." Her eyes narrowed. "Are you trying to embarrass me?" "No," he said. "You did that yourself." Some looked away. One cousin stared into her wine. My uncle's face reddened. My mom sat rigid, hands clasped. Then Lauren asked what everyone was thinking. "Do you have feelings for her?" Ethan looked at her, unrecognizing. "I have respect for her. Deep respect. And if you spent less time curating perfection and more time truly listening, you'd get why that matters." His words hit harder than anything that night, shifting the focus from me to values, what we protect, what we mock, who we celebrate, who we ignore. I glanced around, no one spoke. The judgment that once roared now lingered like a broken fog, pierced by Ethan's quiet defiance. For the first time in my adult life, someone stood for me, right there in front of everyone, not in a text or behind closed doors. He turned the spotlight from my shame to their cruelty. I was no longer the punchline. After Ethan's words, the room froze, no laughter, no clinking glasses, just heavy silence pressing against the walls. Lauren stood, arms crossed, face taut with anger, searching for support, but no one moved. My uncle muttered, "He's just emotional. Don't take it seriously." Ethan ignored him, addressing the table. "You want to talk emotion? Let's talk about raising a child alone, working 2 jobs, giving time to others without asking for anything. That's not weakness, that's strength. Lauren snapped. You're making this about her. No, he said softly, you did. I'm just not letting it slide. He turned to me. You didn't deserve that, he said quietly. Any of it. My throat tightened. I wanted to say thank you, but could only nod. It was enough. My mom looked at me, then really looked, with something like regret in her eyes, perhaps seeing the cost of her silence. I didn't expect apologies, not from her, Lauren, or anyone. But something shifted, like a first breath after drowning. Ethan didn't touch me or try to save me. He stood close, his presence saying, you're not alone. In that cracked tension, I saw beyond revenge, recognition. They hadn't broken me, they'd exposed themselves. And for once, I didn't shrink. I sat taller than ever, then stood, steady, whole, not angry or ashamed. I looked at the faces that had laughed, pitted, ignored me. Lauren sat rigid, cheeks flushed with fury. My uncle reached for his wine, acting unbothered. My mom stared at her glass, hands trembling. But I wasn't there for them anymore. I turned to Noah, who looked up from his rocket, drawing with a grin as bright as the sun. Ready to go home, sweetheart? I asked. He nodded, slipping his hand into mine. We didn't say goodbye, we didn't need to. As we passed Ethan, he gave a small nod, quiet, not showy, just acknowledgement. You were seen, you mattered. I held Noah's drawing in one hand, his fingers in the other, and walked out with my head high. Not because I'd been defended, but because I'd always been enough. They just hadn't seen it. But I did, and that was enough. We often view strength as loud, bold, undeniable. But sometimes it's quiet, showing up despite judgment, standing firm when alone, loving a child fiercely while the world shames you for doing it solo. Tara Evans didn't retaliate with insults or storm out for drama. She stayed, stood, and revealed more than a room's cruelty. She showed courage that doesn't need volume to be heard. Lauren thought the night was hers, that she could humiliate to steal the spotlight. But real power isn't controlling a room. It's speaking truth unapologetically. Ethan, by standing up, showed that silence can enable cruelty, but one honest voice can shift everything. If you've ever been the outsider, the quiet one, labeled as less for not fitting their mold, know this. You don't owe anyone your silence or shame. Sometimes the strongest act is refusing to shrink. If this story touched you, share it. Drop a comment if you've chosen dignity over drama. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories, reminding you that you don't need permission to take up space. You already belong. As Tara stepped into the night, Noah's hand in hers, the air felt lighter, like a weight had lifted. No applause, no grand exit. Just truth and the quiet power of being seen. She didn't leave defeated, she left whole. And maybe, just maybe, someone in that room will hesitate before mistaking silence for weakness again. Because sometimes the truest revenge is living your truth fearlessly.